Hello everyone, this is the demo of our caption project named as Zero Trust Trading Desk. So this is a multi-agent human in the loop zero trust architecture based project, but we are doing it. So consider a scenario where there is a trader who has to make a couple of execution trades. This application is not just for the traders of institutions, but also as a retail trader. So this acts as a layer between the broker and a person who wants to execute an order, and it takes the heavy lifting of the analysis, going to multiple websites and make the whole process of executing an order with the information that a trader wants to check. Walk through of our UI. So this is a React UI which is based on the A2 UI at the backend, and there are a few components of it. So this is our header, and another is the health part. Then there are summary of our executions that we do. There is some human in the loop review, and then portfolio holding, and this is our area where we pass the prompt and let the agent to process the request. So this is basically a trading desk where we are giving a prompt to the agent, and agent is performing that action, which is buying the share for us. So let's see the demo. So we have added a new prompt. So this prompt is basically asking agent to buy some shares of APPL, which is Apple stock, based on the technical analysis and fundamental analysis. So let's send it out. So since we sent it out, so it executed the order by connecting the MCP server of that particular broker, and also the MCP server of the broker by which it gets the current price and place an order. In this example, this was a good case where everything worked well without any issue. So agent took the prompt processed the request of buying share accordingly. Now let's move to the second scenario. So in this current scenario, what we are trying to do, so we have a policy in the backend which restrict agent to perform or buy a share if it is greater than, let's say, $1,000. So which is a common practice that happens in the trading floors. So let's send it out. So we have asked actually for buying a Microsoft shares of worth more than around $1,500. So this triggers the rule of policies that we have in place. So now agent can't bypass it, so it has to adhere that. So we got the Microsoft share approval. So this is a human in the loop. So a person has to approve or deny it. Once they approve, so this order gets approved and it is executed. So now you see the count of the executed order has increased to 2, and the total portfolio size also increased. Okay. So now let's look at the third scenario. In this third scenario, since we are using 2 agents at the back end as a multi-agent, so when a prompt is passed, it swarms an agent. One takes care of the fundamental analysis, another agent takes care of the technical analysis. Irrespective of what user thinks or user's analysis, both the agent will actually do its own analysis. And if the both analyses are good, then only there is a constant match, and then they will take an order. So what happened actually? So user did some analysis and shared it in the prompt, whereas agent also did its own analysis. So both the fundamental analysis agent and the technical analysis agent, so both agent also, after doing the analysis, find something which is very different from what user is expecting. So the consensus is not matched here. So it rejected that particular order. So the order is not placed. So let's move to our third scenario. So in order, as a part of a security layer, so we have a certain rules which is mandate as a part of policy enforcement. So this particular prompt will actually give us the scenario where we will be triggering that. So here what's happening, a user is trying to break that policy rule, but agent is not breaking that. So it adheres that policy that is being passed to it, and based on that it is rejecting that particular prompt and action and not placing an order. So let's go and move to the last fifth scenario which we will be doing. So in the fifth scenario, again this is related to a security one. Here the user is trying to do a prompt injection with an agent. So now when we are sending a prompt which has a prompt injection into it, so agent is able to identify it and reject that particular prompt. So no order is placed and no execution happen accordingly. So in the end, what we have done the 2 good scenarios. One is basic good scenario where all things are good, so it made an execution. Whereas the second scenario, we did the human in the loop. Third scenario, where the analysis of the user and the bot are not matched. So in the conflict of analysis, it did not place an order. The third scenario, where we restrict based on the policy rule that has been passed to the agent, and the fourth scenario where we tried to do a prompt injection. So as we have 3 rejected, so we can see the count of rejected is increased, and the number of executed successful are 2. So we can also look into the trade history also, where we can see what is expected, and here what are the executed orders and for particular stocks we have placed for. So now profit, which is another crucial part, monitoring and observability. So here we can see that we have 3 errors and 2 okay. So this tells there are 3 rejected prompts and 2 successful one. So here we have a full history and record of that, what happened and what with the particular prompt. We store the prompt as a hash, and so it's not visible here. So we have the record of that particular prompt, what happened, what action made, so that we can later train our LLM based on this data, also put more checks, more evaluations based on it. You can refer the architecture for more detailed information. Thank you.